Hey everyone, welcome back to another SAT math video. This is a question from the official 2024 Test Bundle 5 Math Module 2 linked in the description below. A competitive diver dives from a platform into the water. The graph shown gives the height above the water, y, in meters, of the diver x seconds after diving from the platform. What is the best interpretation of the x-intercept of the graph? Okay, so what is the concept? Remember, we always start our SAT questions by understanding what concept they are testing us on, and this one is interpreting functions, right? Interpreting functions on a graph, right? Interpreting, let me just write interpreting functions, okay? Because basically that's kind of what we're doing, right? We're interpreting functions specifically on a graph, right? So for these types of questions, you don't really need to do a lot of math. You just need to look at the graph and understand what they are asking you, and then based on what they're asking you, find that information within the graph, right? So what are they asking us? They are telling us to interpret the x-intercept of the graph. Well, what is the x-intercept, right? So we have our y-axis going up, representing the height, and the time on the x-axis, right? So this line, right, we're seeing, it kind of just basically tells us at any given point the height of the diver at a given point in time, right? So you can imagine this is just like the motion of the diver when they jumped off at, however many meters this is. Maybe this is just like 10 or probably 10 or 11 meters, right, over here. And from here they jumped, and then all the way down here, this is when they hit 0 meters. So we can assume that at this point they reached the bottom, right? Or they reached the pool from which they were diving into, right? So when we talk about intercepts, right? Intercept simply means when a line touches a particular axis on the graph, right? So here is my slanted XY plane, but just to demonstrate, I'm going to draw a line, and for this line, the y-intercept would be where the point at which the line touches the y-axis, and then the x-intercept would be the point at which the line touches the x-axis. And this works for all functions on the xy plane, right? Even those that are not straight lines. So where is the x-intercept for this graph? Well, it would be simply right here, right? So what are they asking us to interpret? They're asking you to interpret, what does it mean? What does this x-intercept mean? Well, we know that at a particular time, the diver is at some given height, right? So when it touches the x-axis, we know that the height is 0. So that means at this particular point in time, the diver had a height of 0. And since we knew that they started from the top, this means simply nothing more than they reached the bottom, or they entered the water at this point in time, right? So let's read through these examples and see which interpretation kind of matches our understanding that we were able to deduce, right? So the diver hits the water at 0.2 seconds. Okay, let's see. If we go 0.2 seconds, that's going to be like right here, kind of. Where is their height? Well, their height is much higher than the water, right? So we know that D is wrong. Let's look at C. The diver reaches a maximum height above the water at 0.2 seconds. That might be true, right? But remember, that is not an interpretation of the x-intercept, because the x-intercept is over here at 1 point, maybe like 1.8 seconds, right? So that is also wrong. Or maybe they're saying 1.6, so 1.6, 1.8, it doesn't really matter, right? As long as we know it's much greater than 0.2, right? So we definitely know C and D are wrong. So let's look at A. The diver reaches a maximum height above the water at 1.6 seconds. Well, we know for a fact that's not true, because if we didn't know this was 1.6, just by looking at the graph, we can see at 1, they're already all the way down here, right? They're down here at 1, and their highest point was over here closer to 0, right? So this is definitely wrong, because their maximum height occurred much before 1.6 seconds, right? Their maximum height occurred somewhere over here, like 0.2 seconds, right? So the only option that makes the most sense is B, right? Because the diver hits the water at 1.6 seconds. This kind of looks like 1.6, right? And then their height is 0, meaning they hit the water at this point. So we know that, okay, this one makes the most sense. So there you have it. That's all you had to do for this video. This video again was, or this question rather, was just about interpreting functions on a graph, right? And all we had to do was understand what the x and y intercepts meant in the context of this problem. In this problem, the y-intercept simply represented the starting height of the diver, and then the x-intercept represented the final height after a certain period of time, or you can interpret it as this was before they started their jump and this is when they finished their jump and finally entered the water. So hopefully that made sense to you all. Let me know in the comments below if I can improve these videos or make them clearer and easier to understand. Check out Khan Academy and some of the other links in the description below in case you like learning. And of course, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.